Listen, one thing you have to know, I'm not telling you to fake anything. I'm not telling you to fake it. Look, there is a game involved in life, in friendships, relationships. There's always a game. There's always an investment we make because we want to return. But be sincere. I love talking about my kids, and I love hearing someone else talk about their kids. It's all real. But at the same time, I do have my goal. I can't tell her that I really just dream about working with you. I need her to hire me, to pay me money to make a movie. That's the goal. But I want to enjoy the process while I'm doing it. I'm going to give you this really quickly. The 3 R's of relationships. Here they are. Radar, recalling, and reward. Radar, recalling, and reward. The radar is you have to put yourself on someone's radar. You have to be a blip in their radar. You got to stay in their peripheral. You got to be there. That's the radar. Recalling. They need to be able to recall something you've said to them or how you made them feel at a meeting. Recalling. Oh yeah, you're the guy who blah, 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 blah. You're the guy who likes this basketball team. You're the guy who's the father of 3 and told me this advice about before they go to bed. Whatever. Something small. Can they recall the experience they had with you? Not what you do for a living, the experience of meeting you. Can they recall it? And the last one, a reward. What's the reward? And this is so important. Be a resource for them. Be a resource. I'm sitting at the coffee bean with a producer 2.5 years ago talking about a movie, just like a meet and greet. And we talked. She didn't get her finances together. I keep track. I have all files, every single person I have a meeting with. And I save every email. And I see her again. I say, you know what, I wrote her an email. I say, you know, whatever happened to that movie you had called Story? But I had to be interested, right? So I said to her, let me ask you, whatever happened with that project? She goes, oh, you know what, we're still, nothing's happening. That was like 1.5 years ago. 6 months ago after that. I send her another email and I don't talk about her movie. I say, you know what, let's connect, let's have coffee. So we go to the coffee bean, we talk, and I tell her about projects I'm doing. She starts telling me, I'm like, tell me your story. I want her to hire me to let me rework her story and direct it. She starts telling me about it right now. The relationship is beginning. Right now, I'm going to become a resource for her of something to help her story. She pitches me the story right there on the spot. I'm giving her ideas. What about this? What about this? What about this? Now, this is really important. If you're selling yourself as nutrition, right? Whatever those, I don't know that business. I won't say it. I'll talk about my business. I think that, they need me as a director to be a leader. Leadership. As a director, I have to know about music because I have to be there to direct the composer. I have to work with. I have to know about camera, timing, lighting, actors, experience, all those things. The last thing I'm going to do in a meeting is I'm going to tell them, guess what I know about music? I know about comedy. No, I never would say that. I would, number one, be funny in the meeting so they know I know about comedy. Number two, I'm going to talk about music. I'm going to actually talk about music. Oh, there's a project. I just saw a movie. I saw this composer. So when they leave that meeting, everything that I wanted them to know about me, it came up in the conversation without me ever having to tell them anything about me. They know from the experience of the meeting, not only that I know about music, but I love it. Because look how he talks about it. He's so real about it. He loves it. This is part of who he is. When you're selling your product, you're selling yourself. Go through that checklist of all the qualities you think that they want. If I was buying one of your lights, I would want to know one thing. Is that thing made 110% with love like an iPhone? Like Steve Jobs puts it even into the packaging. That's what I would want to know from this guy. That's how I am. I'm a perfectionist. When I'm buying technology, I want to know that. If you sell me and your shoes aren't shined, there's a problem. Every part of that package. Professionalism. When you're writing notes in front of someone, are they sloppy? Are they neat? All these things I'm watching peripherally, subconsciously. I'm taking it all in. I got one more minute here. I want to read you 2 more quick emails. Watch this. Okay, this is ideas there. This is what she said. She says, I also, by the way, when I was in that meeting, I was talking about resources. I told her, oh, you also need a character designer? I know character designers. I know art directors. I started pitching her all these people and getting her all these people. I became a resource to her. Wow, this guy really knows people in business. He must have done a lot of work before. So I send her the email. She says to me, I send her, Martha, it was my pleasure meeting all of you. I met with her and someone else. As I said, it's quite refreshing to talk story with a sincere artist who created this from life. Very cool. I called her sincere. I made her feel good about herself. Please let me know if I can be of any aid as your journey on this process. Thanks. By the way, I never got to hear your story of how you became a producer and your Jewish sister. because we had to meet in a kosher restaurant, so she told me what's kosher, we got the whole Jewish thing going, and she's like, oh, I have a sister, and we never got to talk about it. So that's like a leave behind. That means we get to do another meeting, right? So watch what she writes back. Thanks, Saul, for your generosity. Your projects were thrilling, as well as your energy invigorating. Jing Zheng, this is the Chinese producer, went back yesterday. We're planning to regroup. P.S. Shouldn't she all about her sister and how it happened? Fine. I wrote, whatever happened to your project? She says, still moving. Oh, that's how I met her. Okay, watch this. I got one more for you. Here. This is a woman that I've kept touch with for like every 3 or 4 months. This is a big point you got to get, okay? There's 4 ways to stay in touch with someone. The number one and the best way is a meeting. But you're not going to get too many of those. But that's the most important. All the way on the left over here, LinkedIn and Facebook, what's beautiful about it is you can stay on their radar by just posting something about yourself. You're not directing it to them, so you can't be annoying them, right? It's not to them, but they're going to see it if they're LinkedIn friends, right? So you post it on there once a week, whatever. You write something, you do an accomplishment, you have a client write a review about you, throw it up on there. It's going right to that person you met with, and it's not harassing them or bothering them.
On the radar.
After you're on their radar, after that, email. You send them an email. Once every 6 months, whatever it is. After that, phone call. It's more personal, they have to take more time. And then there's the meeting. You want to make sure when you're keeping up the relationships with people, you do at least like 1 meeting a year with a client. Let's say it's 2 phone calls a year, 4 emails, a LinkedIn every month. Each one of those, there's that low-hanging fruit, the LinkedIn and the Facebook. If they're going to see about you and see what you're doing, every time you have an accomplishment, throw it up on there. Every time you have a client that likes something you did, throw it up on there. So this one woman, never worked with her, but man, are we trying to do something together. This is what I said to her. Karen, this is the first time I met with her. Karen, it was more than a pleasure sitting down with you today and sharing my work. You have great vision and enthusiasm, a fantastic combination. And you know what? All true. She does. She was amazing, and I was absolutely inspired by her. I feel these are the sparks of stories where great movies are born. Please let me know if you need anything else, and I hope your flight was restful. Talk soon. She wrote, it was a pleasure indeed. Love your energy. Any chance you can bottle some of that. I've sent your projects to to Cliff, my boss. Fingers crossed. Let's talk soon. Safe travels. I got my last email to read you, and this is my favorite one. This is the head of Warner. My manager sent me to him a couple times. I had meetings with him, and then I had a project that I wanted to send him, and my manager told him that Saul wrote a movie called Tiger about tigers. My manager just doesn't want to hear anything about tigers. I never had that happen. When I have a meeting and someone said they don't want to take the meeting. So I should have gone, okay, that's a door slam in my face. I'm not going to do it. All is well with you these days. Peter, my manager, informed me you are not interested in hearing our Tiger pitch. More than selling you a pitch, I look forward to building a relationship with Warner Brothers. And if I know what doesn't work for you, that can better lead me to what does work for you. I would love to sit down with you in person for 30 minutes. Whenever you can squeeze me in, please let me know what works. Thanks. Happy face, because I met him 3 times, Saul. He wrote, hey Saul, and this is the busiest guy in the world. This is almost the head of Warner Brothers.
This is the head.
This is the man himself. He says, hey Saul, I would be happy to meet with you any time. Because it's the relationship. Forget tigers. You think I'm selling you tigers? I'm selling you a relationship. He's going to think of me again. Every 6 months, I do something, I call him. Here's the key I want to end with. We have a vision of what we're trying to create. We have to know, and this is the most important thing. Forget everything I've said. This is the most important thing you have to walk out of here with. We all know what we do well, and we tell everyone about it. We also need to know the things we don't do well. You want to grow, you want to be great, you got to know what you need to work on. Michael Jordan is in the NBA the first year. The critics say, Mike, you have no defensive game. Michael Jordan says, yeah, we'll just see about that. He works harder in his defensive game. The next year, Michael Jordan, Defensive Player of the Year. Each one of us, including myself, we have gifts and abilities, and there's things that we need to work on. You want to be great, spend as much time focused on and understanding the places that we are lacking and get those up to speed. And how do you find out those answer keys? You ask the people that are not buying your product. Every time I sell something or try to sell a pitch, the most valuable thing for me after they say no is, you know what? Why? Tell me. What was I missing? What was the project missing? What's the climate like in animation? Find out from them why they're not investing their money. You take that and you make lists of it, you see patterns, and you go, oh, I can fix that. Oh, I can fix that. Wait a minute. What about this person who's my competition? How are they selling? How do they deal with that? And then research it. Find out about it. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys letting me speak. Thank you very much.